friends and felines, and welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're benched on my channel for the first time today. Today's video is going to be part one of two videos. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a full makeup look using all of the cheapest makeup I have in my collection. I'm going to wear it all day, see how it holds up throughout the day, and then the next video I'm going to be using all of my most expensive pieces of makeup and doing a whole face with that, seeing how that one wears throughout the day, and then kind of comparing the two and giving you guys options for both cheap or expensive makeup if you have the money for either, whichever is best fitted for your budget. So without further ado, let's hop in and use some of my least expensive products. So I already know that some of these products, for the cheap ones, I'm definitely not going to like. There are a few that I just know don't work for me, but there are some products here that are definitely a bang for your buck. They are amazing, and a lot of these products you're going to see a trend from one particular brand that is just so cheap and you can find them in any drugstore. Alright, to start off with, we're going to go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. This primer is $5.99. You can find it in any drugstore. And I already know I hate this primer, and it's kind of old, so I think I need to declutter it, but we're going to use it for today's look. A lot of these products, especially for the cheaper side, it's kind of hard to find the exact price because you might be able to find it cheaper at Walmart, or you might be able to find it cheaper at CVS or Rite Aid, anything like that. But this is like a white primer, and I think if I remember correctly, it has kind of like that silicone feel, which I've said many times before, I don't think really works with my skin. It does have a little bit of a moisturizing texture to it, but it doesn't like feel like tacky. It's just meh. It's just like, you know, a $5.99 primer. Alright, so for foundation, I'm going to go in with probably one of the cheapest brands out there as a whole, and that is Wet n Wild. This is the Photo Focus Dewy Foundation. So again, this is one of those products you could find at either like $6.49 or $4.98 at Walmart. So depending on where you look, you could find it for cheaper. It's not a bad foundation. I don't mind this one. You just have to get past like the paint thinner smell. Like that's kind of like the biggest turn off on this. But other than that, like it's not a bad foundation. I don't mind using this if I just want to be really quick. It's got this weird like spatula on it, so I don't really know. But it's not bad for like a very, very cheap drugstore brand. So this foundation isn't very full coverage. That's kind of like what one layer of it looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead and do another layer and bounce it in with this sponge. I'm just using a sponge I got from HipDot. I got it in one of my boxes that I haven't used yet. So obviously this isn't a cheap brand, but I need to replenish my Real Technique sponges, which again is something you can find in the drugstore, super cheap. Probably one of my favorite sponges that are out there, but all of mine are like very old and decrepit, so I need to go out and buy some new ones. Alright, so for concealer, I honestly thought my Maybelline Instant Ager one was going to be the cheapest one, but instead it's actually my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This one is listed for $6 at Ulta, I believe, and again, it's hard to find exact prices because the actual brand itself might have one price, Ulta might have a different one, or CVS, Walmart may have different prices. I did try to stay away from like Amazon or eBay or Poshmark pricing, so some of these may vary. But this is the cheapest one that I have in my collection, and I love this one. Again, it's been saved for a dupe for Tarte. This one is the more hydrating one. This totally like is not quite my shade though, especially since this foundation was a little bit lighter. So yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and try this one. This one was in the shade Light Peach, but again, with not being able to try out makeup in the stores because of the pandemic, it's kind of hard to get your exact shade. But again, with it only being $6, I have no problem going back to the store. Alright, so for powder, the cheapest one I have is actually the Coty Air Spun. The price I found for this was $5.97. But this one is just another staple. I really, really do like this one. It is kind of very like flowery powder, and it is heavily fragranced. I feel like that's one thing that you'll find on either end of the spectrum, is that super cheap brands and super cheap products might have like a very high fragrance or a very powerful fragrance, and then like kind of some in the middle won't have as much fragrance, and then if you get towards the higher end stuff, they might start putting fragrance back into their products. So you just gotta search for stuff that works for you. I mean, I don't really have too much of an issue with fragrance. I don't think it breaks me out as much, but there is some other ingredients that I definitely think break me out. So I'm just going to set the under eyes using just the wet sponge that I used earlier, and then I'll just go in with a brush for the rest of it. I really do like this powder though, like I said. I think it works very well. I think there are some products that don't sit well with this. You just gotta find like the right combination of primer, foundation, concealer, and powder that like works for you. And it does do a very, very good job of mattifying everything. Like I said, it can get very powdery, so just a warning. And it's very fragranced, like I said. I also like this powder because it's very finely milled. I don't think it sits too heavily on the skin. It doesn't make things seem too cakey, especially if you go in with a light hand. Like if you pack this powder on, you will look cakey. But if you just go with like a light little dusting, I think it sets everything very nicely and it kind of mattifies everything down. But like not overly matte. It's kind of like that nice medium matte. Oh, now I have powder all over my shirt. I don't know why I wore black. That was a mistake. Alright, so for brows, the cheapest one I have is actually my favorite brow pencil that I currently own, and is the Winky Lux Unibrow Pencil. You've got the spoolie on one side and the other side is the pencil, but it's actually like that triangle type angled shape brow pencil. So of all of my products, this one is $16, which is the cheapest of the brow products I own. I do have the NYX Brow Gel. That one is $7.50, but I'm not just going to use just a brow gel. I'm just going to go in and fill my brows in. So like I said, it's got an angled tip and it glides on very easily. I was very like uncertain if I was going to like this or not, and I was going to give it away, but I said, you know what, let's just give it a try. And like I said, it ended up being my favorite brow pencil as of right now. I do want to try some from Benefit because they are another like leading competitor in brow products. So that will be something I will have to splurge in at a different time. But for like as of right now when my brows need to be waxed again, I just like going in with a like brow powder or a brow pencil to make sure they're not like super defined because they are kind of overgrowing. Only when my like brows are freshly shaped do I go in with a pomade, because otherwise it just like looks too defined with like those few straggly hairs just like lingering about. So I'm back and my brows are what they are. And so now for bronzer, the cheapest thing I have is by Essence. It's the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder Palette right here. This actually comes in around $9.99, so like 10 bucks for this. And you get 4 different shades in here. Obviously some are lighter, some are darker, but you can like use them as eyeshadow and everything. And I've been much more into like bronzing than I am contouring. So I usually like start off with like this shade if I need to, and I go a little bit darker. But I take out a nice fluffy brush. This is a Colourpop one. This is the F28. I think this is just like a regular face brush, but I use it for like bronzing, especially like on the forehead. That way it's like nice, soft, fluffy, and it's not like too harsh of a line, because I have definitely had some very harsh bronzer contour moments. But I mean, for this being as cheap as it is super pigmented. So just gotta be a little careful. This is definitely working a lot better than like previous times I used this. I think in my video of trying makeup from brands I've never tried from before, so you guys could go check that one out. But when I tried this that time, I don't think I liked it. Like I don't think it worked with a combination of all the other products I had. So like that's the kind of thing with like those videos, is that you might be trying a bunch of new products and it might turn out being like a really bad makeup look. But you just have to go through and try them with some of your more favorite base products and it might work a little bit better. Alright, so I'm just going to take a smaller brush just to kind of do my cheek bronzing. Like I said, I don't really do contouring as much. I really don't think my face needs contouring, but just given like that shadow and depth that bronzing and like contouring would do. Like I think this shade works better for like my forehead, but like I don't think it works as good for my cheeks. It looks a little like yellow or dusty, but I don't know. It's already on my face. We're going with it. I don't know. I'm trying to rush through this makeup look because the Bills are currently playing the Colts right now in the first playoff game, and it's the first home playoff game I think since like 1996. So I want to finish this look and go watch them play and hopefully crush the Colts. We're on the Super Bowl, baby. It's gonna happen. Oh boy. Oh boy. Not good. Not good. Like I said, this is very pigmented and I don't think it works for a contour shade. I contour my nose still, even though I really don't need to, but I like doing it, and that is like super, super dark. I'm just gonna hopefully buff that out a bit. My like nose has been acting up. Like it doesn't want to keep any product on my nose. I don't know why. So everything just like keeps like coming off and bunching up. So that's kind of annoying. I think it's just because my nose is like super dry and like flaky right now. But we're gonna move on. So the next thing is another thing from Wet n Wild. This is the Hello Halo Blush Lighter. So it is a blush and highlighter duo. This thing retails, again, I think around $6.49 is the price that I found. So for both a blush and a highlighter, it is an amazing deal. The thing is, the blush is a very shimmery type blush. So if you're not kind of about that journey, then this wouldn't work for you. But otherwise, like, this is an affordable, amazing blush highlighter duo. I love using it all the time, especially in the summer if I'm going for that more dewy look. You know, some BB cream, some powder, and then like this thing, it's just beautiful. So, oh, this doesn't have a mirror. I'm sitting here like thinking that had a mirror. Does not. So like I said, this one is a very shimmery blush. I don't mind shimmery blushes, again, in the summertime especially. The one thing that I really do like having is a matte bronzer. I really don't like shimmery bronzers unless I'm really going for that just all over dewy, shimmery look in the summertime. But in the wintertime, I definitely like it to be matte. I don't like the blush in this as much as I like the highlighter. Like the highlighter just does a really nice job. The blush is just kind of like a shimmery pink. It doesn't really give you much, but I mean, it does look nice. All right, I'm gonna quickly set everything before I go in with the highlighter. So the cheapest setting spray I have is from Makeup Revolution. This is the Sport Fix Extra Hold Makeup Fixing Spray. This thing retails for around $8. And again, I got this when I was trying a bunch of products from brands that I haven't tried before. So just... that one has a weird smell, and it's like a very high-powered spray. Definitely have that wet look. Ah! Oh, are you kidding? I just got blush on my nice, clean tie-dye sweatpants. Alright, so now we're just going to go in with this highlight. And again, this is kind of like a blinding highlight for as cheap as it is. I say blinding, but it's definitely not like the most blinding that I own, but... and like, I don't know. I think it gives just the slightest cast because it is a very like white highlighter, but I don't think it's that bad. All right, so I zoomed you guys in a little bit so we can start on the eyes. So for primer, the cheapest one I actually have is from Morphe. It is the Eyelid Primer right here. This retails for $10. And last I recall, I really did not like it. So I'm just gonna use my finger to apply a bit of this on the eyes. But I think it's just like, it's a very thick consistency and it feels slippery. Like it doesn't feel very tacky. But again, I think I've only used this like a few times. So, I mean, we'll see. Like it sits on the skin weird. I don't know. It's questionable. And like it has pigment, but it doesn't have pigment. Like it's not like an eyelid base, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's a weird consistency. It's very hard to describe, I guess. Yeah, like it all bunched up on like my lash line. Like I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I know my nose contour looks really bad. Just deal with it. Alright, so when it comes to actual eyeshadow, the cheapest one I actually own is the Blushed Nudes by Maybelline. But this palette is so flipping old, I'm not using it. This needs to be thrown away like immediately. That one I think was around $11.99. But if you guys saw my like one video where I used it, like it made my eyes water and turn red, and like one of them was like half shut. So we're not using that. That needs to be thrown away. But my next one is actually at Forest Sight, the RawBeautyKristi collection with Colourpop. This one retails for $20. And I used this in my review of the palette. So I want to try to go in, I don't know, with some colors I haven't used yet. Maybe we'll do like some of like the blues and magentas. So I'm actually surprised like this one's my cheapest. Like I thought I would have one that was under 20 besides that Blush Nudes palette, but I guess I don't. Alright, so my eyes feel weird. Like they feel like they're closing. Like I feel like I put eyelash glue on my eyes. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to go in with Old Growth up here, and this is kind of going to go, I forgot how pigmented this is. This is just going to go like kind of all in the crease and kind of be like a transition shade. And when I reviewed this palette, I absolutely loved this palette. I loved these shades, and hopefully this Morphe Eyelid Primer is not going to mess it up because I can't remember the last time I used it, but when I did, I felt like the shadows like didn't blend or stick on my eyes like the right way. I'm not exactly sure. I am living for this candle, by the way. It's kind of off screen now, but it's the Sugared Snickerdoodle. I got it with their candle sale, and I honestly live for it because Snickerdoodle is like one of my favorite cookies ever. And it smelled like really, really sweet at first, but then it kind of like, not like wears off, but just kind of is not as strong. So it's not like too sweet for me. All right, so I think I'm just gonna go with Homegrown right here and kind of start deepening up stuff. We shall see how this turns out. I'm kind of just winging it again. Not really sure exactly what I'm doing. I mean, so far I think like the shades are going on nicely with that Morphe Eyelid Primer. I was thinking I was gonna declutter it, but this might be giving it a second chance. I'm not sure. Oh crap, checking on the Bills game. Indiana is up 3-0. Not good. But still just started. So still have hope. See, everything went on smoothly on the right side, and now like the left side is kind of like acting weird. I don't know, not digging it. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with Amanita. I'm not exactly sure, which is kind of like this very deep magenta shade. I feel like this is gonna be like super pigmented. I haven't used this shade yet, so let's see. There aren't many shimmers. It's just like that weird green and that gold. So if I'm just using a single palette to do a whole look, like I feel like I have to go in with the gold. I'm gonna bring it like kind of farther on my eye than I normally do because I want this to kind of dominate the eye a little bit more than if I go in with that gold shade for like the shimmer, because I feel like that gold shade is just gonna like take over. Ooh, that's getting cute. I like this brush too. This is from the new like Luxie. This is the large shader brush. It's kind of like a dense, flatter brush. Really liking it. It's the first time I tried it. So, see, I always feel like I get somewhere good on my right eye, and then my left eye just like I always go for a different shape on my left eye. Okay, sure. We're gonna go with that. And I'm gonna go in with that West Coast gold shade. Hopefully this doesn't ruin the entire look. But I think magenta and gold look cute together. I forget how pigmented this stuff is. Yeah, definitely want a smaller kind of flat packing brush to get into the inner corner. The thing with these like shimmer glitter shades or whatever is that they actually go on very nicely with both a finger and just like a dry makeup brush. Obviously with your finger it's going to be more pigmented and more just like bang for your buck, but it still goes on with a brush if you want to buff it out or get into any precise corners. And again, I don't want to take that gold very, very far, just kind of like a little pop in the inner corner. Now I'm like, do I play it safe and just keep the same colors on the top and bring it to my lower lash line? Or do I get fancy and go in with PNW, Pacific Northwest, which is this like deep blue on the bottom? You know what? I'm just going to risk it for the biscuit and go in with that blue shade. Ooh, that was a lot. That was very pigmented. Oh boy. Oh boy. And I'm going to make sure I don't go like super crazy on my lower lash line with this because it is very, very pigmented and I'm already going crazy. Nice. I feel like that was a mistake. Well, I'm just going to keep it on the outer corner for now. I feel like that was a mistake, but it came out way stronger than I thought it was going to. It's okay because I went even crazier on this side. Awesome. And I feel like this is a very dry brush. This is the Morphe M508 brush, which is a smudger brush, but we went a little crazy. Like, look how far down that went. Like, that is not okay. I need to, like, clean that up. All right. Fix it a little bit, but also made it worse. We're going to move on to eyeliner. All right. For the cheapest eyeliners that I have the NYX Jumbo White Eyeliner. This is $4.50. And then I've got Colourpop eyeliners that are $6. I've got a peach shade and a brown shade. So, yeah, not a lot of color options. Alright, I might do peach on the lower lash line on the inner corner and then brown on the outer. I don't know, trying to fix this look. Not sure if that's even possible, but we shall try. And I like going in with peach now for like a lower lash line instead of white, because I feel like white is like too contrasting to your eyes, and I feel like to actually make them better or like look bigger, you want to go in with peach because it's kind of like skin tone color. But I forgot how pigmented this brown is. We're just going for every color into the rainbow today, and it doesn't look good, so you win some and you lose some. Alright, so I'm also going to take some of that highlighter, and I'm just going to use this as brow bone highlight right up there. I put that gold shade kind of all the way to my inner corner, so I don't need an inner corner highlight. Alright, so moving on to mascara and lashes. For mascara, I have the Mega Volume by, once again, Wet n Wild. This is $3.49. And for lashes, the cheapest ones I have are the Ardell 113 Wispies. These ones are like $4.99. Again, it varies. So I'm just going to apply these really quick and come right back to finish this makeup look. So I just want to show you guys really quickly what one eye looks like with the mascara on. Again, like when it comes to Wet n Wild products, I feel like they work and they do their job, but they're not wowing. So I mean, this does its job. It coats its lashes. They were curled for like a second, but yeah, they just are kind of average. Alright, so those are the eyes finally finished. Definitely not my favorite look. That's on me. I took a risk and I didn't really like it. But I really do like these lashes. I love the Ardell Wispies. They are such a good deal. It's a nice light wispy lash to enhance your normal lashes and just do an everyday look. I think with this eyeshadow, larger lashes would have helped. But these Wispies are super easy to apply. They have like a very, very thin band, which sometimes I personally think are harder to apply. But these ones like go on, they go right on the lash line. For the most part, they blend in with your normal lashes. Sometimes if it's not like a solid black band and you don't have eyeliner on, you can very clearly see them, which I mean you still can, but they're not that bad. So now moving on to lips. Again, we have another Wet n Wild product. This is the High Shine Brilliance Rosé and Slay. And it's just a standard lip bullet right here. Kind of a knockoff on the packaging from Pat McGrath right there with the lips. But again, just a basic lip. This retails for $2.99. Like, isn't that crazy? So yeah, it goes on, it's super nice. It already has a nice shine to it. Obviously, it's not going to be long lasting. It's just a bullet lipstick. It's not matte and it's nice and shiny. You really don't need a gloss for this, but I do have the NYX Butter Gloss. It's this cute little gloss right here. Retails for $6 and I haven't tried this yet. I've only given it a swatch. I really don't think this shade goes with it, but let's just pop a tiny bit of it on. Put it on in the center. Sure, I really don't think it did anything because this like already feels like gloss. It just feels very soft and smooth on your skin, so whatever. All right, time to lock everything in. I like can't describe that smell. Like I don't know what it smells like. And I feel like it goes straight up my nose with how powerful of a spray it is. All right, that is today's look. I'm just gonna add up and give you guys a rough estimate of how much this whole face would cost you. All right, so adding up everything I used in my face today, your total would be around $116.89. Which isn't bad for everything considering. The most expensive being the eyeshadow palette at $20. The next expensive would have been the Winky Luxe brow pencil. Everything else was like super, super cheap. I mean, we have a beautiful lipstick that is only $2.99. Like, I think that is the cheapest thing that's in here. The lashes are only $4.99 and I love them. So overall thoughts on this whole look. Yes, there are definitely some products in here that I love. Some of them that I don't like as much. But I think like the best bang for your bucks are obviously like Colourpop palettes. Not just this one, but they have like the 9-pan shadows that are super cheap. And I haven't really played around with a lot of Colourpop palettes, but I definitely want to pick up some more. Another steal that I think I definitely recommend is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Definitely a steal. The lashes, like I said, are super easy to apply and they're a nice basic wispy lash if that's something you are looking for. Again, I do like this one. The blush, not so much as the highlighter, but I love using this in the summer just for a nice glowy look. As you can see, you definitely got the glow going on. The Colourpop gel cream liners, whatever, they are an amazing steal. I love them. Some are more pigmented and go on easier than others. The lipstick, again, super cheap. It's not going to stay. It's just a basic bullet lipstick, so I mean, and the Coty Air Spun. Once you get past just how powdery and fragrance it is, I really do like it. And again, the foundation is just like a good drugstore foundation if you just want to throw something on really quick. Okay, so that's everything for the application. I'm going to wear this makeup look for as long as possible today, and I'm just going to do like a quick little checkup at the end to see how my makeup is holding up. I can already tell like my nose is not agreeing with the makeup, but that's just been a general consensus of just what's going on with my makeup application. But we'll see how like the exterior holds up. And I definitely know my lips aren't going to hold up at all, especially because I want a little snack and sit down to watch the Bills game. So I will check in with you guys later. All right, hey guys, so I'm just doing another check-in before I take off my makeup. Just getting up close and personal again with the bathroom lighting. I have some oiliness coming through like right here. It's pretty much like gone on my nose, but again, like I said, my nose is not taking up makeup very well. My lipstick is pretty much gone, but again, I just finished eating dinner. I took off my lashes because they were just annoying me, and it didn't do that bad. I've got some like glue like right here that I need to take off, but overall, not bad. It's been like a few hours. It's not been an all-day wear, but it's definitely been like at least 7 hours of wear, maybe 7 or 8 hours, so not bad. That is the final check-in. I'm going to take all this makeup off and start editing videos and maybe watch some Netflix. Alright guys, that's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video, which will be on the total opposite spectrum and using all of my most expensive makeup. So if you guys liked today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you are notified every time I post a new video. I love you guys. If you subscribe to my channel, I welcome you in my feline family. Bye!